As Councilmember Nurse mentioned, this is really kind of two parts. One is short term, and then there's a long term. So the short term is adding capacity to treat and to store. And so what you're seeing here is the short term, where we really worked hard, and this was our staff and all the contractors coming together to get to increase capacity for this rainy season, so that we would be better prepared to handle any potential storms that we faced. And we are ahead of schedule. We didn't expect to have this additional capacity and to treat and to store online in July. We expected that in mid to late August. So I'm very pleased the fact that we are better prepared today than we expected to be.
Can you talk a little bit about what had to happen to make this happen?
Yeah, I mean, so you've got contractors who were out here, and I believe they're working, 7 days a week, Claude?
Yes, sir.
So out here working 7 days a week, projects that normally would have taken, like the injection well, normally would have taken 18 months to finish, and we got it done in 7 to 8 months. So, that was the city saying this was really important, and the contractors recognizing that to us it was really important. They got the work done. We're paying them to get that work done, and we're getting it done. We're keeping true to what we promised.
Are there any more injection wells planned in the near future?
Yeah, there's another injection well right now that is under construction. Two more injection wells that are under construction. So yeah, we've got a lot more work that we're still doing. And again, this is the short-term part of it. The long-term part of it is addressing what's called I&I, the inflow and infiltration into our system, and you do that by fixing the pipes that have leaks in them, the manholes that were leaking, the laterals that were leaking. It's all that rainwater that was getting into the system that previously our system wasn't designed to handle, that now it should be in a much better position to handle, but we still don't want to, we want to limit the amount of rainwater that's going to be handled.
Mr. Mayor, can you say to the residents that there'll never be a broad discharge into the waters again around campus?
Well, first off, let's be clear. What we had as far as the discharge wasn't raw sewage out in Albert Wooded. We had partially treated. But secondly, I've been very clear about this. We're going to do everything that we can to prepare our city for what we anticipate to be the worst case scenario. But having said that, we could get rains that are far worse than anything we could have ever dreamt of. We could get hit by a Category 5 storm. When something like that happens, there's not going to be a whole lot that we can do. And you have to balance trying to build what your expectations are and what you expect to be the worst case versus something that's way beyond that just sits idle forever. And so that's what we tried to do. We tried to build a system to what we expect, our expectations are of what the future holds for us. I think any politician who promises you there will never ever be another spill is really lying to you, because they cannot guarantee that. All we can guarantee is that we're going to do everything we can to build for what our expectations of the future are.
How much is this costing us?
The short-term project is $305 million, but we are committed to continue to invest in the system beyond that. We are programming in our penny for Pinellas money to go into our sewer system. We have to get above the curve. For too long, the city has been below the curve on what it's spent, and as a result, we find ourselves in the position that we're in today, and we're dealing with that.
How much has been spent so far this year?
Total amount?
We allocated, we've encumbered $60 million.
$60 million.
Mayor, you had, your staff earlier in the year had said if a major storm hits and it's necessary, the city would dispose of partially treated sewage down to injection wells as a last resort. That's also a violation, the same thing as discharging the bay. Is that still a possibility with the current improvements?
We expect with the current improvements that we've made and with what we have finished after mid to late August, we're hoping that we're in a position where we don't have to do that at all, because we've added capacity to the equivalent to what we saw during Hermine. And so we're certainly hoping we don't get a storm that's significantly worse than a Hermine storm, which was pretty bad. So we're trying to anticipate and build to what our expectations are, so that we don't have any problems going forward.
And that's so by mid-August you anticipate being in the clear as far as the injection well scenario?
Mid to late August is.
I've got some fact sheets over here, folks, as far as those timelines and specifics.
Yeah, that's with all the construction.
So that would be 3 altogether.
Yeah.
3 altogether, but that's not all that's planned. We have 6 total.
Okay. everyone done with the mayor can leave.
Just one more question. Somewhat related, shore acres, all the flooding that always goes in there for the last 30 years since I've been here. Anything for those residents? Is any of this going to help?
Yeah, so, I mean, this is what happens when 23 years go by without the city doing a stormwater master plan. And without enough attention being paid to an area that is historically always flooded. And for whatever reason, it seemed like, well, yeah, there was an acknowledgement, well, yeah, Shore Acres always floods, Lake McGorry always floods, Meadow Lawn always floods. That's just the way it is. Well, it doesn't have to just be that way. And that's why we're doing the stormwater master plan at the same time that we're doing a sewage system master plan, which, by the way, the city's never had. And these two plans are going to work together because they have to. Because if you're addressing stormwater and you're doing a better job of preventing stormwater runoff, that water's got to go somewhere. So these plans and these systems have to work together, and that's what we're going to be doing. And it's something that hadn't been done before. It's called planning for the future, and that's what we have to do.
Mayor Kreisman, you had talked about planning for the future and that had not been done before. I think Councilmember Nurse mentioned the foot being taken off the gas. Do you include yourself in that kind of neglecting the system as well as your predecessors?
I've said this before. This isn't about pointing blame. You have to figure out how you got to where you're at, what caused the problems, what's wrong with the system if you're going to fix it. We have a very clear understanding of what happened before and how we got to where we're at, and now we're addressing it going forward so future generations don't have to deal with the same issues that we're
dealing with. Do you bear any responsibility in what's happening with the past couple of years?
As I've said before, I'm in this position. It's up to me to make sure that we take those steps necessary to prevent this from happening again and to move forward. We've looked at what happened. We've seen what we could have done better, what prior administrations could have done better, and we're fixing it and we're moving forward.